Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I would like to go ahead and start this topic off very briefly, talking about what we're going to expect with the market, what happened last week, and pretty much my idea from a technical analysis standpoint, what we could expect from certain stocks. Last week, the market had a little bit of a dive. Last week, the markets took a significant hit with investors reacting directly to renewed fears over rising interest rates and pretty much what we're going to expect for the global economy and global tensions. This sell-off highlighted growing concerns about the broader economic outlook. As we turn into this week, a series of crucial economic events are on the horizon. First up, let's talk about the producer price index, which will offer an insight to the inflation and potential cost pressures that businesses are facing. This is a key indicator that feeds directly into the overall inflation trends and what exactly businesses are paying to produce a lot of the goods that they are creating. Believe it or not just consumers, producers also face inflation, and this is a direct outlook to the health of the general economy. Next, we're going to be talking about the consumer price index. On Wednesday, we do get a report about that, and it will take center stage. This is a headline figure for inflation that everyone watches because it tracks how much we spend for goods, housing, gasoline, stuff that really helps us move as an everyday economy. This is stuff that we need to keep track of. Followed by Thursday, we have the initial jobless claims report. This weekly data gives us a real-time look at the health of the labor market, which remains a critical piece of a broader economic puzzle. We want to see how the economy is reacting. Are jobs creating jobs? Are we stagnant? These are all going to be important points to help us track the health of the economy, which directly may correlate to the market's performance week over week. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the S&P 500. This tracks the best 500 stocks in the United States and is very good as a precursor to understanding how the general economy and market is going to probably perform. Now, looking at the overall S&P 500, we can see we have hidden a pretty big supply at 606.11. Huge amounts of sellers have overtaken that 605 to 604 level, and from a weekly standpoint, we can see we've gracefully fell from that $600 level all the way down to 583. You'll notice from a demand standpoint, I did mark over here, buyers have been stepping in from the 567.13 range all the way to 565.17. Looking at the smaller time frames, you can see that apparent to be true. Look at how many times buyers have reacted and held over that 565 area. So we understand from a buyer and seller standpoint that the S&P 500 does have a lot of presence at that 565 range. My attention is going to be tracking how does the S&P 500 perform under 578.47. It is a point of emphasis. I marked it as the previous day low because we want to see if the S&P 500 can go ahead and hold this 578 range. Failure to do so, I do believe the S&P 500 will have to fill in this gap from 577.84 all the way down to 574.72. Why is that an important level? If you are someone that tracks volume, you must understand that if we go into the extended trading hours, you can see that this gap is currently filled. But we know that it is pre-market and post-market action, which means that the volume tends to be lower because not enough people are participating in the market from a pre-market and post-market standpoint. So we want to be very wary of this spot. I believe if the S&P 500 can't hold 578.47, we are deeply going to test that gap fill, and it's going to be a very important point for our analysis going into the week. So my bet going into that part, market sentiment is under 578. I want to see a gap fill break all the way down to the bottom of that range. I'm pretty confident if sellers can go ahead and overtake that area, that we are going to see significant selling. You can go ahead and see other patterns as well too, where we have a apparent 4-hour head and shoulders pattern. This is pretty clear that if we break this neckline under 582.44, that the S&P 500 can probably test down lower. Take a look at this head and shoulders pattern. You can see that apparently happening over here. So you want to make sure you watch that. Next on my list is going to be AMD. This stock, I honestly thought we were going to have a lot more buying pressure from this. It's been sliding down this lower low, lower high situation. And I think AMD was really at an important point where buyers really needed to step in. I marked this area as an opportunity from 116 all the way up to around 120.66 as a potential demand for a potential dip buy, but it looks like sellers have been significantly present, and we're probably going to see AMD slide down a lot lower. What I mean by this, If you take a look from a daily perspective, we have some other stacked demands here, but we really need to see that 116 hold. I don't see another demand for AMD set place all the way up until the 113 area. So what does that mean for you? Taking a look at the daily chart, I believe if AMD continues to have momentum to slide even lower, I think AMD is going to slide easily down into the 113 level. So if you're going from the hourly perspective, this is what I would look out for. I'd look for a slide underneath 114.48 from a previous day low. If we have volume and selling activity, this will surely test down at the bottom of the trend at around the 113 to 112.50 level. So is there an opportunity to buy here? Technically, yes, you still have a lot of buying opportunity to look for a potential dip buy, but if sellers go ahead and take control under 114.48, this will surely slide down to 113. If you want an opportunity to look for another dip buy opportunity to potentially load into some leaps, you could do that, but I would wait to be a lot more patient into the 113 level. Just taking a look at what's happening so far, this supply has been a very big catalyst for AMD. It did not like that 132 spot, and AMD has been paying very close attention to how supply and demand works. Take a look at this daily perspective. You can see the first initial supply was created from 132.40 to 129.82. This is an area that we need to look out for if this does retest back. So this is my strategy for AMD. It's either we take the previous day high and we take a bounce above 118.44 to retest back into 130.52, or if it cannot hold that under 114.48, I'm pretty positive this will slide down into the demand. So watch for that specific standpoint. Look for short under 114.48 into 113. Now, RGTI, along with the other quantum computing stocks, have been absolutely demolished. Now, what's been going on with stocks like RGTI is that NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang pretty much stated that quantum computing was about 20 to 30 years away from being successful. Now, I do think RGTI does have a lot of potential, but as of right now, sellers are feeling the heat. What I can say by this is from its graces of around the $22 range all the way to about $17.57, we saw that gap push all the way down under $10.74. A lot of people who invested into leaps into this are feeling the heat, so we're seeing some overwhelming presence of selling. Now, what I would say is RGTI really has to hold that $9 level. If it doesn't hold under $8.40, this is really going to test down into the $6.73 level. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at it from an hourly standpoint, we do see a lot of buyers stepping in with an intent to hold at that $7.696 sub level. You can see this happening multiple times at this specific spot. So I'm going to say if RGTI cannot retain $8.40, this will surely slide down into the $7 level. But there is hope. Meaning if you want to look for an opportunity to buy RGTI at a better spot, you're better off waiting at that $7 level. I wouldn't want to test to hold anywhere near this $8, $9 range because there's not a lot of buyers stepping in here. You can see the actual buying pressure start to dissipate. They're not really showing up. Taking a look at the 2-hour chart, what do you see here? It's been nothing but lackluster holding. We've already broken a supply that was created. If you take a look at the specific spot, there was a demand at that 905 level, but it did eventually break down. Just looking at the 2-hour chart, we printed underneath that $9 range. I truly believe if RGTI cannot hold under 840, it is going to test into that $7 level. Look out for it. Go short under $8.40. Now let's talk about my favorite heading into next week. I've been trading Broadcom pretty heavily. I think Broadcom has a lot of movement to potentially move to the upside. We see a nice little bull flag pattern being created on the 4-hour and the daily chart. You can see that happening. We're making a consolidated base and price is starting to wind up and get tighter. Typically when you have a channel of pretty much price action that's winding down or getting very less volatile, we're going to see a pretty explosive move happening soon. Now this is my thoughts on what we're going to expect with AVGO Broadcom. I want to take a look and see how we're performing from a supply and demand standpoint. point. I'm going to look at the 4-hour chart, and I could see over here sellers tried to break underneath 217.16. They failed to do so. I'm going to mark a demand from that 221.07 level to 216.90. That is an area of opportunity where I could see buyers stepping in. So I'm seeing over here huge demand at that plot, another demand being created, rally-based rally from 219.24 all the way to about 226.14. I know we have a pretty strong stack demand here. So what does this tell me? I want to see if buyers can go ahead and hold above this 232 level, 223 spot. I think if we break above 227.52, we don't really have a big supply of sellers stepping in anywhere near here, somewhere around until 233.17 to about 231.62. This is an area where I'd like to see that happening. So if AVGO can somehow go ahead and maintain above 227.52, I like an opportunity to go long here back into that 230.20 spot. And overall, let's see if we can go ahead and test the top of the trend. This is the top of the trend. I want to see this break above that 232.75 spot into 235.56. So schematically speaking, this is what I'm looking out for. If we somehow break below this, this will have to test further into the bottom of the demand at 217.02, meaning under 221. If somehow miraculously sellers break down, we can see this test down into 216.73, but that is my expectation. Look for a trade above 227.52 to go long, or short this under 221.13. That pretty much concludes what I'm expecting for this week. If you guys want to take advantage of my pretty much analysis, visit my Twitter at Brian_Gualberto to take a look at what exactly I'm taking a look at. I also have day trades that I take in my Discord channel that you guys could freely join, link in my bio. Come join us. Let's get some trades going together.